Near mint condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome. That, as they say, is that. Marvel Comics. Let's go ahead and get started. How's it going, all you mentees? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And today, I'm going to be giving you my overview of the Ultimate Universe Invasion Box Set Slipcase Edition from Marvel Comics. So, let's go ahead and get started. And welcome back, everybody. Before going any further, a big thank you to the folks at Marvel for sending us a copy of this slipcase edition. This book is already available everywhere, and there is no direct market cover, there's no standard edition cover. It is just the design that will be everywhere on each and every one of these box sets. So speaking of box sets, this is the latest box set from Marvel Comics. It's been a long time since we've had a box set, and before you ask the question, is this the secret box set that they were working on? No. Hopefully one day they will actually do that. So what I'm going to do today is take a closer look at each and every one of the series collected in here, and then talk about if there's any differences between the trades in here and the trades that have been previously released. So let's go ahead and get these out of the box. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is the actual design of the box. It has a flat tone to it. There's no glossiness really. And we have this Marco Cicchetto piece here. We've got Phil Noto here. And then we've got the ISBN down at the bottom, right there. $120. And then up here is that particular character, which we'll talk about here in a second. And then in the back, so you can put it like this if you're putting it in your bookshelf, you'll have what's collected in here. Ultimate Invasion, Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Black Panther, Ultimate X-Men, Ultimates, and Ultimate Wolverine. However, over here, you can see what each book is, really. And what we're looking at is volume 1s of each of these titles, which have been previously collected individually. And I'll go ahead and tell you, there's really no difference in between these over here and the books in the box set. They actually have the same alignment when it comes to the volume numbers. You'll see them go up, just like Ultimate Wolverine. It's a little higher than Ultimates. It's the same thing in the box set edition. They don't have their own template, if you will. It's the exact same trade paperbacks, and the prices are the same. So I won't be... I mean, if you want me to, I will. You know what? I'm going to. I'll do a comparison for a couple of these. So let's get these out of the box. They come out smoothly, and I say that not because, like, oh, it's supposed to. Not every box set. If you remember the X-Men box set, it is very, very tight in there. So here they are individually, and individual release here on the right-hand side. So really, nothing different. No extras. Is the same page count for each and every one of these. So, and all of them printed in Canada. So let me go ahead and open these up and give you a pitch for each of the series, each of these volume numbers, and tell you a little bit of how they're connected in this new Ultimate Universe. Okay, since I've already done overviews of every single one of these, I'm just going to quickly go through them. This is the Ultimate Invasion trade paperback. It has 192 pages and collects Ultimate Invasion 1 through 4, and it retails for $24.99. And we're going to keep an eye on the prices, and then at the very end I'll tell you exactly how much the box set is, because the box set is 120, but we're going to go through each and in every one of these individually priced. So this one here is written by Jonathan Hickman, and we have Brian Hitch doing the art. And Brian Hitch is no stranger to the Ultimate Universe. But this is a new Ultimate Universe. This isn't the same one as the 16... what is it? 1610? Yeah, I think it's 1610 is what the universe is. So it's different than that universe. This is a brand new universe for Marvel Comics. It just happens to be this particular Ultimate Universe, and it gets a little bit confusing, so I'm going to go ahead and explain a little bit as to how this got formed. So spoilers, please, if you don't want to know anything. If you just love Jonathan Hickman and everything he's done, as confusing as some of his storytelling is, and you just want to go through this by yourself, go for it. Put me on mute, but even putting me on mute is going to reveal some things. All right, but here we go. It is up to the Illuminati to put a stop to what the Maker is doing. So the Maker is the Reed Richards from the Ultimate Universe, the original Ultimate Universe. And what he is doing in this miniseries is that he is making his own perfect universe. He's making an alternate universe where there are no superheroes that were ever born. So that's what he's doing here. He's kind of stepping in and making sure that there are no more superheroes because he wants a perfect world without them. He has put his own generals in charge of these particular universe, and you'll see who they are as we go through each series. So that's what this one is. This is what Ultimate Invasion is. It's about the Illuminati trying to stop Reed Richards, or I'm sorry, the Maker, who's now a villain, from forming his own universe and kind of creating it in his image, or how he sees the world should be. And then in the back we do have the variant covers, and most of them in splash pages and some in thumbnail size. The very first book that kicks off this era as an ongoing series is The Ultimate Spider-Man, and Volume 1, Married with Children, is collected here. Again, spoilers, just a reminder for every one of these. Over here on the left-hand side, in every one of these trade paperbacks, you will see what has happened in that secret invasion storyline, or the Ultimate Invasion storyline about the Maker, preventing things from happening from these characters, finding out that they're superheroes. But this one is by Jonathan Hickman and Marco Cicchetto, who does the artwork, and it is absolutely stunning. And this is, to a lot of us that have wanted Peter Parker to stay married to Mary Jane and have kids, that's exactly what this is. If you've read the Renew Your Vows miniseries, or I'm sorry, it was an ongoing series. It was a mini at first and then an ongoing series. That's what this is. But this is the ongoing new Ultimate Universe Spider-Man, where Spider-Man's a little bit older. He is married and has 2 kids. There are differences here, though, as to who's alive and who's dead, who knows his secret identity, and who his villains are. And I don't want to spoil that for anybody. This is collecting the first 6 issues of the 2024 Ultimate Spider-Man, and it is a joy to read every month. And also 168 pages, this one retailing for $19.99. So you are going to see a reimagining of all of these characters. Some of them are the way you would think that they're supposed to be, and others are a little bit different. Whether it's Spider-Man himself, or whether it's some of his supporting cast or villains. But this is really, to a lot of us, the flagship title for the new Ultimate Universe. And a lot of it has probably to do with the team of Jonathan Hickman with Marco Cicchetto. Now, again, there are some changes here, and Ultimate Invasion is talked about quite often because Ultimate Invasion did something that got rid of some of the supporting cast in here before the series even started. Again, in the back, you have the covers. The next book up is Ultimate Black Panther Volume 1 by Brian Hill. Now keep in mind, Ultimate Spider-Man has a Volume 2 and 3 already, and Ultimate Black Panther has a Volume 2 with a 3 on the way. So these are just collecting the first wave of series. Again, on the left-hand side, you'll see what the Maker's role was in Wakanda, what he did, preventing from Black Panther to become a superhero. And then, of course, who is in charge of this world, keeping superheroes away, and that is the characters of Khonshu and Ra. And that's what this is. This is more like a political comic book when it comes to dealing with being a king, being a superhero, which makes sense. I mean, it's nothing new, but it is a new take on the character and his supporting cast who appears through here, and a new incarnation of these characters that you're probably familiar with, whether you saw the movies or whether you saw or have read previous Black Panther issues. It's also, and the beauty of this entire series, the entire universe of Ultimate Universe, is that it's new reader friendly. You don't need to know anything about T'Challa and any of his supporting characters. So you do have the Dora Milaje here, you have Shuri, plus you have other characters too, like Killmonger and Storm that show up through here, ultimate versions of these characters, and who makes up his particular kingdom. This is collecting issues 1 through 6 of the Ultimate Black Panther, and it has 152 pages, $19.99. Now, I will say, because it's another universe, the takes on the relationships between the characters is a lot different than the 616 universe. Ultimate X-Men Volume 1, Fears and Hates. I will say out of the entire Ultimate series, this is the one that I've seen it's most divisive. People like it, love it, or hate it, or don't want anything to do with it. Again, the maker over here, out of all of these, I will say this is the one that feels a lot different, a lot separated than the rest of them. The rest of them you feel like, oh, definitely superheroes. Peach Momoko is the writer-artist. Zach Davison is the script adaptationist, if that's even a word. But this is collecting the first 6 issues of Ultimate X-Men. Again, this one will have actually, it's got 3 volumes right now. And this one has 160 pages, $19.99. The reason this one is so different is because it reads less like a superhero book and more like a horror manga. So my personal opinion, when people ask me, what do I think, since I'm such an X-Men guy, because Uncanny Omar, somebody that just doesn't call themselves that unless they like X-Men, is I absolutely love this. This is what people have been asking for. Whenever you see somebody rolling their eyes like, oh, another X-Men comic. Oh, X-Men has been the same thing over and over again. Every incarnation of X-Men, including Krakoa, even though it feels a lot different to a lot of us. This is what people have been wanting. And the same thing with people that are like, oh, manga's outselling American comics. And that pendulum always swings back and forth, really. It always has been. But that's exactly what this is. It reads like a horror manga. Yes, if you're a fan of X-Men, you can definitely tell who some of these characters are supposed to be, especially, you know, obscure characters like Armor, and maybe another character like Storm in here, but how can she exist here in Ultimate Black Panther? Remember what I said, that this feels less like a superhero comic and more like a horror manga? Yeah. Peach Momoko's doing her own thing, and I'm loving it. It's a murder mystery. Why are these demons going after this girl? Oh my gosh. Absolutely love this series. And again, you don't need to have read any X-Men to understand what's going on here, because even people that have read X-Men, guess what? It's not going to help you. And if you're not familiar with Japanese lore, myths, and legends, guess what? There are lexicons at the end of every issue and glossaries to talk about the actual demons and myths and legends. I just love this series, and I wish it could continue forever, because it's a nice break from X-Men, and I love me some regular 616 X-Men. 160 pages, $19.99. The Ultimates, and rest assured, just to make sure, I have the trade paperback printing over here. It's the exact same thing. Maybe the colors are a little bit darker in the trade paperbacks from the box set, but they're both printed at the same printer. They're both printed at the Canadian Silisco printer. So, again, on the left-hand side, it's the maker. They have the same paper stock, and they have the same content. It just seems like the colors are just a little bit darker. I mean, a tad bit darker. Now, this is, oh my gosh, this is some good stuff here. This is the Ultimates, but it's a different take on the Ultimates. This time around, you'll see characters like Doctor Doom, Iron Man, and Sif, Wasp, Captain America, Thor, and Giant Man. But it is the formation of this team. The thing that makes this so different than all the other titles is that this one actually acknowledges the fact that something big is going to happen. Something huge is going to happen with all of the Ultimate Universe. And this team here is put together to make sure that doesn't happen. So this collects Ultimate 1 through 6, the Ultimates 1 through 6. Again, the 2024 series, not the original Ultimates, and Ultimate Universe number 1. This book has a total of 208 pages and retails for $24.99. While the other books don't really acknowledge the fact that the maker had anything to do with their history or lack of superheroes in their world, the Ultimates really faces that. They know something is out there and something is coming. And they actually face off against some of the generals that I talked about that the maker has put throughout this entire world to keep superheroes from coming. So it is up to these characters to go and recruit new members to put a stop to this. At the end of every issue, I love this, is a freaking countdown. And the countdown is counting down to the return of the maker. So you will see, for example, here, 17 months remaining. So the maker's coming back. And this book does not shy away from knowing that. And there are wonderful new incarnations of these characters, 15 months remaining, that I love. Issue number 4 is one of my favorite Marvel comics released that year. This is by Dennis Camp, and Jonathan Hickman actually writes that Ultimate Universe series. Juan Frigeri does some of the artwork in here, as well as Phil Noto. Ultimate Hawkeye is a complete badass. The Ultimate She-Hulk is, Hawkeye, She-Hulk is what they're known as. But this is your team towards the very beginning here. And again, you don't need to read anything before this, because even the things that happen in Ultimate Invasion do affect this. But the way that this is written, this is letting you know that something bad is coming. Something bad is coming, and there's a countdown here. So I love the fact that they do have, each and every one of these has the whole little recap here on the left-hand side. Dennis Camp, Juan Frigeri, and again, Jonathan Hickman writing the stories in here. And this is the last book that is collected in that box set. And this is Ultimate Wolverine. And it's called The Winter Soldier. This is by Chris Condon, Alessandro Capuccio, and Alex Lins. Again, giving you a recap of what's happened before and how this character was kept from becoming Wolverine. Now, this is the one that kind of stands out, because if we're going to collect the Ultimate Universe, this is why I know it's not collected in reading order. This came out after Ultimates Volume 2 and Ultimate Black Panther 2, Ultimate X-Men 2, and Ultimate Spider-Man 2. So one of those should have been in here, but instead they decided to put Wolverine. So this is more like a sampler box set, telling you, like, even though the stories are disconnected, that you can read these at any time. It's not done in a publishing order. But this is the mystery as to who Ultimate Wolverine is. Is he really the Winter Soldier, or is he some guy named Logan? Now, the maker does make big appearances here as to the origin of this character. This collects Ultimate Wolverine 1 through 6, 160 pages, $19.99 for this book. You will see characters in here that have appeared in the X-Men, like Colossus, who plays a big important part here, like Magic. And of course, the mystery is, who is this Wolverine character? Why is he such a badass assassin and he can't remember everything? And yes, I know that is the Wolverine, but it could be a different take on the character. And if there is this character, is there another part of the Weapon X project through here? And that's all I will say. Again, the extras are all the way in the back. And no differences in the book, including the price. This is basically just the trade paperback over here put together for the box set. So speaking of box set and prices, box set is $120. You get the slipcase, you get all these books. But how much are all these books together, and how many pages? The retail price of all 6 books, if you bought them individually, is $129.94. Again, the price of the box set is $120. And all the pages added are 1,040 pages. So, not an omnibus, but it is a slight cheaper way of collecting all these books in case you missed them. No announcement yet if they're going to make a box set or a slipcase 2, or if there is even an Omni one day. But who knows? That, as they say, is that. If you're interested in purchasing this box set, don't forget to check out our sponsors.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltscomicshop.com, and you can use the code nearmintcondition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget, the CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more.
And that was the content, the page count, and build of this box set. Let me know in the comments down below below if you already have the trade paperbacks, or you're missing some, or if you're hoping that they will come out with an omnibus edition of this particular era of Marvel Comics. And if you want a second box set in case you're picking this one up. But that is it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Smash that like button on the way out. Stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.